Every family carries a hidden narrative within its lineage, a legacy woven not merely from threads of wealth or esteemed reputation, but often from the dark, entangled knots of sin, fear, and an unending tapestry of misfortune. In the myriad shifting shadows of the English countryside, nestled deep within forgotten moors and ancient gnarled forests, lies the terrifying saga of Blackwood Manor, a chilling testament to the human soul's profound darkness and the destructive power of secrets that spans not just centuries but seemingly an eternity, a tale where every whispered word resonates with dread, and every turning page reveals a new, unspeakable horror. This is the story of the Blackwood family, an ancient and once revered lineage whose immense fortune was harvested not from fertile soil or shrewd business, but from an unseen, malevolent force, a pact forged in the abyss. That unholy power elevated them to unparalleled heights, bestowing upon them vast estates, grand mansions, and untold riches, yet in return, it ruthlessly stripped them of something infinitely more precious that could never be reclaimed: their humanity, their fleeting joys, and the sacred solace of a peaceful death. With each succeeding generation, the tendrils of that pact, that unholy agreement, tightened, weaving themselves deeper and deeper into their very bloodline, corrupting their essence from within. Today we shall reluctantly turn the cursed pages of the Blackwood family's history, whose every passing century became not merely a chapter, but a new, blood-soaked testament to terror and despair. Prepare yourselves, for we are about to unearth the secrets that time itself, in its infinite wisdom, desperately sought to bury, hoping they would remain forever entombed. In the twilight years of the 18th century, a time steeped in burgeoning industrialization and ancient superstitions, when Lord Elias Blackwood, a figure of formidable ambition and piercing intellect, embarked upon the grand yet ill-fated endeavor of laying the very foundation of this imposing edifice, Blackwood Manor. He was far more than a mere landowner. He was a man consumed by an insatiable obsession, a relentless hunger for dominance and unparalleled wealth that propelled him to transgress any known boundary, to defy any moral code. His desire was not merely to possess the sprawling lands surrounding him, but to expand his fortune beyond the wildest dreams of any mortal. And for such boundless power, he was prepared to pay any inconceivable price, no matter how abhorrent. Unbeknownst to the local populace, this seemingly tranquil patch of earth yielded not only the expected blossoms and bountiful harvests, but also concealed an ancient, unspeakable secret buried deep within its primordial depths, a sinister truth that lay far beyond the grasp of human comprehension, predating even the most archaic of legends. According to hushed, fearful legends passed down through generations, Lord Elias, driven by his consuming desires, descended into the deepest, most suffocatingly dark cellars of the manor, a realm where the sun's benevolent rays had never and would never penetrate. There, in that cold, echoing abyss, he performed an ancient, forbidden ritual, one whispered of only in the most obscure grimoires. People whispered, their voices barely audible, that he had forged a blood oath, a pact with an unnamed entity, a being of unfathomable malevolence. In exchange for immeasurable wealth and boundless power, he brazenly sold his immortal soul, and, more horrifyingly, the very souls of every single descendant, every coming generation of his bloodline. He recklessly used humanity as a grotesque currency, utterly oblivious to the true, cataclysmic price that this unholy pact would ultimately demand, unaware of the unending torment he had unleashed upon his lineage. After that cursed night, a palpable shift occurred within the very fabric of Blackwood Manor. Its once stately atmosphere twisted into something profoundly ominous and chilling. Wealth indeed flowed abundantly to their doorstep, yet with it came a new, unseen guest, a creeping horror that did not merely dwell, but breathed within the manor's ancient walls, its malevolent essence ingrained within its very foundations, permeating every stone and beam. A terrifying, inhuman glint appeared in Lord Elias's piercing eyes, a light that defied all natural laws. His temperament underwent bizarre, increasingly cruel and unpredictable transformations. The words that now issued from his lips were sharp, cutting, and utterly antithetical to his former mild and refined demeanor. His first 5 servants, loyal and unassuming individuals, vanished without a trace into the abyssal depths of the manor. No screams were ever heard, no discernible signs of struggle found, as if their very essence had simply dissolved into the thin, cold air, and their disappearances, tragically, were merely the harrowing genesis of this terrifying tale, the first tremors of a cataclysm to come. Lord Elias Blackwood, the architect of his family's damnation, paid the ultimate price for this unholy pact in his final, agonizing moments. He was discovered lifeless in his bed, his skin grotesquely shrunken, and his eyes, wide and unblinking, were filled with an unbearable, soul-shattering terror. A terror so profound, so absolute, that no living soul could ever hope to comprehend, let alone endure. From his mouth, a vile, black, viscous substance oozed, as if he had literally swallowed the very torment he had callously unleashed upon his ancestral manor, a manifestation of the dark entity itself. This chilling demise was merely the first drop of cursed blood that would irrevocably stain the history of the Blackwood family, an indelible mark of depravity that would forever cling to their name, a stain that could never, ever be washed away, regardless of the passage of time. After Elias's horrifying demise, an unknown, creeping shadow began to loom ominously over every subsequent generation of the Blackwood family. It was a malignancy that attacked not merely the physical body, but insidiously assailed the mind, slowly, meticulously dismantling their sanity, leading them down a spiral of despair and paranoia. Lord Elias's eldest son, Josiah Blackwood, a man once known for his quiet scholarship, reluctantly inherited the sprawling yet cursed manor. His immense wealth continued to swell, expanding with a disturbing ease, but his mental health, tragically, spiraled into a profound and irreversible deterioration. He would frequently spend endless hours, his gaze fixed intently through his half-closed bedroom door, an unsettling intensity in his eyes, as if he sensed an unseen presence perpetually observing him from behind the very walls, meticulously tracking his every cautious step, every silent breath. Josiah's wife, Lady Isolde, a woman once celebrated for her exquisite beauty and refined elegance, became a nocturnal wanderer, pacing the vast, echoing corridors of the manor throughout the long, haunted nights. She claimed to hear insidious whispers, faint and chilling, engaging in desperate conversations with unseen spirits that were visible only to her, their voices a symphony of torment in her mind, yet utterly inaudible to anyone else. She tearfully asserted that the malevolent entities embedded within the manor's walls relentlessly called out to her unborn children, their spectral voices a siren song, attempting to drag them into their dark domain. Heartbreakingly, all 3 of her innocent children, born seemingly healthy and vibrant, mysteriously perished before their very first birthday, their young lives extinguished by an unseen hand. After each tragic death, a new, unnervingly pristine yet unseen room would inexplicably manifest within the manor, its air heavy and putrid with the sickening scent of rotting flowers, and the chilling silence emanating from that newly revealed chamber was a suffocating weight, far heavier and more profound than any scream. After Isolde's descent into madness and her subsequent death, the terrifying noises emanating from the manor intensified to an unbearable crescendo. Servants, their faces etched with profound terror, claimed to have heard the unmistakable footsteps of invisible entities pacing through empty rooms, the chilling sound of unseen talons scratching desperately at windows, and the very ancient walls of the manor itself seemed to sigh and wail with an unearthly anguish. This once proud family was being systematically hollowed out from within with each passing day, their very souls one by one succumbing to the inexorable grip of the cursed pact. Josiah himself, a broken man, became utterly confined to a single desolate room in the manor, a helpless victim of his own spiraling fear. He was only removed from that spectral prison after his death, his eyes still wide, frozen in a silent scream of terror that could never be forgotten. As if, in his final moments, he had unequivocally recognized the monstrous horror that had, generation by generation, slowly meticulously and utterly swallowed his entire family whole. The chilling history of the Blackwood family records not only recurring madness and unrelenting misfortune, but also a disturbing pattern of disappearances, vanishings for which no trace was ever found, no logical explanation ever provided. Between the years 1870 and 1890, a staggering 23 individuals mysteriously vanished from the manor's confines, a grim count that included loyal servants, unsuspecting relatives, and even a handful of innocent children. Each disappearance left behind a new, impenetrable secret, a fresh, agonizing void in the lives of those left behind. They all shared one terrifying common thread. They simply vanished within the very walls of Blackwood Manor, as if the ancient earth itself had greedily swallowed them whole, their very existence transformed into thin, frigid air, leaving no physical evidence of their passing. Local police investigations, though initiated with earnest intent, consistently lost their way, becoming hopelessly entangled in a web of inexplicable circumstances. Lord Percival Blackwood, the head of the family at the time, a man of chilling composure, would dismiss these alarming disappearances as mere theft or elopement, offering a veneer of normalcy to a terrifying reality. But the chilling truth within the manor was starkly different. Doors would be found inexplicably locked from the inside, windows remained perfectly intact, undisturbed, and behind each vanished person, only the lingering, oppressive essence of their stolen souls remained, a heavy, suffocating presence hanging unnaturally in the air. Servants of the manor, brave enough to stay or perhaps too terrified to leave, whispered chilling tales, claiming that strange, unearthly noises emanated from the deep cellars at night. Sounds like immense stones being dragged across the cold floor, the chilling rattle of unseen chains, or the desperate, gasping struggles of suffocation. These sounds were so viscerally real, so undeniably horrifying, that some individuals, unable to reconcile the sounds with reality, lost their very sanity, succumbing to the overwhelming terror. The profound silence emanating from within the manor itself was often far more terrifying than any scream, a suffocating vacuum that spoke volumes of unseen horrors. It was widely whispered among the superstitious locals that the Blackwood family had constructed a clandestine altar of sacrifice within the manor's depths, a place where they meticulously buried their darkest secrets. Or perhaps, more chillingly, those unfortunate souls who had inadvertently stumbled upon those very secrets. Some grizzled old-timers, in their final feverish confessions before succumbing to death's embrace, vehemently claimed to have seen human bones in the manor's deepest basement, bones that, impossibly, had turned to stone over the eons, a chilling place where dark secrets were perpetually imprisoned, eternally bound, and those tormented souls would never, ever find the solace of freedom or escape. In the early dawn of the 20th century, as the world teetered on the brink of profound change, the last flickering beacon of the Blackwood family was Sir Reginald Blackwood. From his earliest childhood, the manor's dark, oppressive history had inexorably tightened its grip upon him, its insidious secrets ceaselessly haunting his mind, tormenting his waking thoughts and invading his most terrifying dreams. He became utterly consumed by an obsessive compulsion to unearth the hidden truths of his ancestors, believing that knowledge would free him. He spent the entirety of his solitary life meticulously scouring every forgotten corner of the manor, delving into every dusty tome and ancient scroll, desperately searching for the truths that had systematically destroyed his family, utterly unaware that he himself was plunging deeper and deeper into the very same inescapable quagmire from which no one had ever returned alive. Reginald, through his tireless, frantic research, discovered Lord Elias's extraordinary leather-bound diaries and ancient grimoires, books that thrummed with a dark, unholy energy. The truth, meticulously hidden within those brittle pages, was so profoundly dark, so utterly soul-shattering, that it caused his very spirit to tremble with an existential dread. He finally understood that his family was not merely afflicted by a curse, but rather bound by an unnatural, ancient agreement, a debt, a profound obligation that every true Blackwood, when their appointed time arrived, was destined to pay by the ultimate sacrifice of their immortal soul. This malevolent pact, he realized with a chilling certainty, was now nearing its horrifying completion, and he, the last of his lineage, was about to pay the final, unspeakable price, the accumulated cost of his own family's ancestral sins. As this dreadful realization dawned, paranormal activities within the manor escalated to an unbearable, nightmarish peak. Reggie, his sanity rapidly eroding, vividly described the blood-curdling screams emanating from the very walls, the chilling thud of footsteps that relentlessly pursued him down desolate corridors, the fleeting, horrifying faces he perceived in every shifting shadow, and the terrifying, palpable sensation of unseen spirits now breathing heavily in the very same room as him, their unseen hands reaching out, ready to grasp him, to drag him into the abyss. He made numerous frantic attempts to escape the cursed manor, desperately rattling every locked door, smashing at every sealed window. But each valiant effort was thwarted by an unknown, irresistible force, a malevolent pull that inexorably dragged him back, as if he were a permanent chain of the manor itself, an extension of its cursed existence, an entity determined to keep him eternally imprisoned within its decaying embrace. In the bleak year of 1907, Sir Reginald Blackwood was discovered lifeless in his bed, his body undisturbed. There were no visible marks of injury upon his skin, yet his eyes, wide and unblinking, held a profound terror beyond human endurance, a terror so absolute, so primal, as if he had literally gazed into the very maw of hell with his own eyes, and his soul had been irrevocably seized, a helpless victim of some unspeakable, horrifying truth. From his mouth, a vile, black and viscous substance oozed, a final, grotesque offering, as if he had, in his last agonizing moments, swallowed the pact itself, or perhaps consumed the very entity that had been gained in exchange for his family's eternal damnation. Following this horrifying incident, Blackwood Manor was immediately and forever abandoned, its ancient crumbling walls sealing away the final, most terrifying secret of the Blackwood family, and that cursed pact at long last was completed, its dark purpose fulfilled. Today, Blackwood Manor exists merely as a skeletal ruin, a crumbling monument to its horrific past. Its dilapidated walls silently echo centuries-old secrets and heart-wrenching tales of destruction, and the chilling whispers of those horrors can still be distinctly heard on the desolate wind, a mournful symphony of torment. No true heir of the Blackwood family remains. That once proud lineage has been utterly extinguished, forever ended. But the chilling, resonant echo of that unholy pact can still be heard, reverberating across the desolate land, a perpetual sign of that ancient dark power that continues to linger, dormant yet ever-present. The haunting question remains: was that curse truly ingrained within their very blood, an inescapable destiny, or was it a horrifying sacrifice that each generation, in their turn, was forced to pay as the devastating price of that sorrowful and utterly terrifying pact, whose unholy foundation Lord Elias so foolishly laid centuries ago? This terrifying history of the Blackwood family stands as a grim reminder to us all that some secrets are, unequivocally, better left forever buried. For when those ancient dark truths are finally unveiled, when they are dragged from the shadows into the light, only utter soul-shattering destruction invariably follows in their wake. If you have been captivated by this terrifying tale of the Blackwood family, and if you hunger to hear more such unsolved mysteries and chilling historical events, then do not forget to like this video, for your engagement fuels our journey into the unknown. Share it generously with your friends and family who possess a morbid fascination for such mysterious and spine-chilling stories, and please subscribe to our channel for a continuous stream of more enigmatic and terrifying tales. Tell us in the comments section below, which secret of Blackwood Manor did you find the most terrifying, the one that truly sent shivers down your spine? And what ancient secret or lost history would you dare to know about in our next chilling video? Your invaluable comments not only provide us with vital feedback, but also help us immensely in unearthing more such haunting narratives from the forgotten annals of time.